Yeah, I'm back, man. I'm back, man. I'm back, man. I am back, man. We back, man. Don't pay attention to that fan in the background. You know how life goes. But I'm back, man. I am back, man. How are y'all, man? Because I know how I am, man. See, I ain't make this podcast to be telling y'all I'm doing phenomenal all the time. I tell you one thing, though. I am better than I was a month ago. For sure. For sure. I'm better than I am a month ago. Alright? So, I don't know about anybody else in this world, but I am better than I was a month ago. Man, I had a whole different episode planned out, but this is on my mind real heavy. People don't even know who they are. Who are you? Who are you? Like, ask yourself. Because if you don't know who you are, you might need to sit back and figure it out. This is not a jab. This is not a diss. This is not me wanting to appear as though I'm better than thou. Nah. But the difference, I'm noticing the difference in certain people and certain other people is a lot of people don't know who they are. Let's not screw who, look, forget who you think you are. Forget who you want to be. Forget what you're striving to be. Forget your goals. Forget all your aspirations. Strip away everything that wakes you up in the morning or everything that motivates you. And ask yourself, who are you? Not what fuels your motivation. Not what is bothering you. Not what issues you have. But who are you? Not your name. I'm not asking for your name. Do you know who you are at your core? Do you know what you want to represent at your core? It's a lot of people out here who think they gangster. They just got mental health issues. It's a lot of people who think they could just hit the reset button all the time on life. You got abandonment issues. The answer isn't always jump ship. The answer isn't always to bail out of a situation. But when you constantly have a flight or a fight or flight response, and your responses are always flight and not to fight for something that could possibly be bigger than what you are, then you really have to ask yourself, who are you? I could have ran. I could have ran, y'all. Could have ran away from certain things. I have physically and mentally ran away from certain things. But as I've gotten older, it's funny because we give chances to people that would not give these same chances to us. I need y'all to realize that. And look, I'm not talking about romance. I'm talking about just being a proper friend to someone. There's people out here who think they know how proper relationships work, yet they have never been in a proper relationship. They may have had an idea of what something proper looks like, but they're not willing to listen, to compromise, to adjust, to sacrifice. So, as people realize giving advice, they are really out here giving advice. They're leading the blind. They are the blind leading the blind. Because they don't even know who they are. You want to wear so many different hats, so many different wigs, so many different palettes of makeup, so many different lashes. Who are you? What are your triggers? Would you tolerate someone who treats you like you treat people? Why do you take the advice of people who don't even know who they are? Look, the beauty of this podcast is that I've been able to sort out a lot of things. I've been able to see the world in a lot of ways. I'm thankful for the wasted opportunities because it exposed a lot. It exposed a lot on how to have to navigate in the future. You know, when you shed yourself of some people that's been in your life for a little while, you start to realize you never needed them. They needed you. So when somebody do something wrong to you and never talk to you again, or if somebody don't listen to you and then something bad happens to them because they didn't listen to you, and their excuse is, well, I don't listen to nobody, but they should have listened to you, it exposes who they are. And they are not who they appear to be. When you have stayed true to who you are, sometimes it's going to get lonely. You know why? Because that level of real can't be around levels of fake in no capacity. This is a diss right now. This is shade right now. I went from this not being shade and this not being a diss to this being a direct diss. This being direct shade. Because guess what? There's avenues and areas where I know I'm not the most mature in. I know I'm not the most well versed. I know I might need work. But it takes a certain level of emotional intelligence to know yourself. I'm not the character that I would play. I know who I am behind the characters I play. I know who I am in every setting. People don't know who they are. People will say, I'm all about money, but don't act like they're all about money. Because if those people were all about money, they would be all about money 24/7. And I mean, not just making it, but managing it. Knowing how to do what you need to do with it. People will say they all about certain things. They're not. At all. Just because you can keep yourself busy and run in place doesn't mean you're doing something. You're just running in place. If you make $500 and you spend $450 and you cry that you ain't got no money, but you just made $500 and spent $450, then what are we doing here? What are you doing here? Who are you really about the money that you are going after? Think about it. Don't say you about your money and then put on a persona in a place where you're supposed to make money like you ain't all about money. If you're about the money, cool. If you're about the service, cool. If you're about just doing your job, cool. But differentiate these things. Because I can go work for free as long as I get the right experience. Really. I can go work for free as long as I get the right experience. How many of y'all can say that? Let's not get so lost in being capitalistic, because guess what? You fall victim to the same capitalism. I really can't wait till my next episode. My next episode gets deep. This is just letting y'all know that whoever you are, stick to that. Yes, you're allowed to change. But don't change because of what you see or whoever you deem as quote unquote competition or whatever you got around you. Don't change for that. Change because you're like, hold on, wait. I'm not unlocking my full potential. try to just, I want to say it right, so I'm saying it right. Don't try to just audible all the time. Sometimes you have to run plays. You can't just everybody is not a quarterback. Everybody is not Peyton Manning. You can't just Omaha your way through life. Now, that reference is going to go over all of the female listeners' heads unless they know what football is. But to my men, y'all know exactly what I'm saying. The reason I say I can't play Madden is because when I play against somebody, all I do is audible. Now, to the naked eye, it might appear as I have it all together if I'm just changing plays. But to the keen and trained eye, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just like that in life. If somebody sees you and they see that you're going in one direction, and then all of a sudden you pivot this way, then pivot that way, then pivot a third way, then pivot a fourth way, they're going to look at you strange. Happiness is not a destination. It's a journey. You can't wake up happy every day. But you should not be waking up unhappy every day either. Figure that shit out. Real talk. This episode ain't about structure like the last couple Jones. My next one ain't gonna be structured either, but I'm gonna have a topic and I'm gonna have a deep topic. This one came on the fly because I realized that a lot of people are really just out here waking up pretending. When you don't have to pretend, you can be yourself. You can be yourself and still garner the results that you need to garner. You can be yourself. It is not hard. Whoever you are, though. And if you got multiple personalities, figure out when to properly use them. If you don't know who you are, really sit in a quiet room. Think about what you want, what you need, what serves you, what doesn't serve you. Once you figure out who you are, then the opinions and the attitudes and the emotions of other people will just be complimentary. It's like, oh, all right, whatever, they bugging. All right, whatever. They going through whatever they going through. All right, whatever. Figure out who you are. A lot of people, man, I'm going to be harsh right now. A lot of women are taking advice from trans women. They don't bleed like you. They do not bleed like you. I don't care how real they are. You can't take womanly advice from someone who was not born with your equipment. Because guess what? You're going to be out here thinking you think like a woman, but you moving like a man. boy, I tell you, no offense, Steve Harvey's one of the smartest people in the world, but that think like a man concept, it's poison. Think like a woman. Not a toxic woman either. Do y'all understand how much pretending? Bruh, y'all gonna listen to a trans who has to alter their entire appearance, alter exactly how they sound, alter how they dress, and force the entire world to deal with an altered state. I'm not saying I wouldn't take advice from a trans man, but not when it comes to matters of basic men things. I apologize if this offends people. I apologize. But guess what? I'm only apologizing if it offends you. I'm not apologizing for the fact that I'm saying what I'm saying. We have to do better as a people, and we have to realize that you can't look up the false prophets. I'm not letting somebody who doesn't know how it feels to be a man tell me how to be a man. In any regard. The metrics for women and the metrics for men are totally different. So, and also another thing. Shout out to all the female rappers, but the ones that have men writing for them, right? There's a lot of women that don't realize that they thinking that they're being led because it's a female voice. But if it's a male pen backing that, then there's levels to what you should follow. I'm not saying don't be entertained. I'm not saying don't enjoy the music. But if y'all following some of the taglines to a T and not knowing that it's a man behind some of these women lyrics, so y'all just thinking y'all thinking forward and y'all thinking like a woman and y'all saying what the girl saying. So y'all saying what some dude referenced and told that girl, wrote it down and told that girl, oh, say it like this, child. Who are you? Identity is key these days. We live in an era where my voice can be duplicated in artificial intelligence. And I can go and say some of the worst things in the world. They got Biggie. They have a song with Biggie saying original lyrics like he's alive right now. The Notorious B.I.G., who died almost 30 years ago. Keep your eyes open, man. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes on the prize. It's a lot of dudes that go out here and get guns because they don't know who they are. Now, it's a percentage of people who get guns to protect their household. But the larger percentage of people go get guns because they don't know who they are. The power isn't in the trigger. But they find some sort of weird satisfaction and power in the trigger. It's a lot of people lost out here. Please maintain your identity. Shout out to all my listeners in Maryland. Shout out to all my listeners in Texas. Shout out to all my listeners in Georgia. Shout out to all my listeners in Pennsylvania. Shout out to all my worldwide listeners too. India, I see you. Germany, I see you. Switzerland, I see you. England, I see you. Australia, I see you. I know y'all out there listening because I see you. I missed a couple of places. I always do. As always, a special shout out to the West Coast, especially Pacific Northwest. Love y'all with all my heart. Shout out to New York, New Jersey, the Carolinas, Virginia, Florida, Mississippi, Tennessee, for sure, for sure. All right. I had to give y'all that. And I'm going to see y'all in like 2 or 3 days. Because my next one is deep. So, be prepared. And be aware. It's okay not to be okay. Okay. Don't sue me, Drake.